Hi there, I'm Peter Sacco. I'm that guy that used to host that really cool show called Niagara's Most Haunted. During that time, people were always asking me, hey, do you think you'll ever do a tour through the Niagara region? You know, all those cool haunted historical places that you visited? And my answer is, well, I finally got there. That is, used to see at all these Comic Cons, so now I'm going to bring you a tour. A really kind of fun tour. Literally, in the amount of time that it takes to shoot this, that's all it really took. Minus the distance from getting to each point, okay? So, having said that, we've been through a lot in 2020. So this is one of those kind of cool tours where you won't need one of these or one of these. That is, unless you're afraid of ghosts or being slimed, or maybe somebody in your car spits a lot when they talk, or they're getting too close, or you don't know them and you really do need to social distance, but then you shouldn't be traveling with them in the first place. Or if it's somebody you don't like in the first place, you shouldn't be with them anyways. Anyways, having said that, I'm at our first point here, where we are going to start this tour from Fort Erie, and we're going to work our way all the way to Niagara-on-the-Lake, which I am going to call the Niagara Parkway Ghost Tour. How do you like that? You can do it all in your car, and I'm going to give you the coordinates as you go through. That is the actual addresses, locations, yada, yada, yada. Okay, so having said that, first place, this is old Fort Erie, the famous place that got burned down in the War of 1812. One of the first people to come here to check it out was the great Mark Twain. Having said that, what's even really cool is on the other side, there's what is called the Snake Hill. Ooh, and it's got a really cool, scary ghost story.
The fellow when the British were trying to take back the fort from the Americans during the siege, and during one of those days off, one of the American soldiers was getting his hair cut. And as he was doing this, a mortar shell came from, a cannonball came from the British side and basically took off the soldier's head and the barber's arms. And that was the big story of this individual, headless individuals wandering around the old fort. Old tale of, from years gone by, that there was some sort of documentation that this person died during that day. But fast forward, it would be now 25 years, actually this time ago, when we found those American soldiers that were buried at Snake Hill. And about grave 3 or 4, the archaeologist, Dr. Williamson, gave me a call and said, come on down, you got to see this. And there was, in this grave, there was this one US soldier with missing his head, and that was something that you could expect during battle, but included in the grave were 2 extra arms. And so when they did the research, it was basically shown that that wasn't just a story that actually did happen. This could have been the individual that actually did that. And rumor has it that he still wanders around the old fort today and causing all sorts of chills and thrills.
Okay folks, so that is our first leg of the journey. Mask, shield, not needed here. Well, then again, the bloody bugs are biting. They're not vampire bugs, but, well, actually they are kind of. They're mosquitoes. But anyways, we're going to go to our next destination along the parkway to a place called Bertie Hall. See you soon. Okay, I have made it to our next leg of the journey, Bertie Hall, which is up the road on the Niagara River Parkway. Established in 1830 by the famous William Forsythe. Well, it used to be the Dollhouse Museum, and this is where the haunted part comes in. You see, there was a miniature pink dollhouse that was believed to be haunted. It would move during the night when the museum was closed. Nobody was able to get into the museum during the night because the place was chain locked from the outside at both doors. The late, great June Spear, who was the curator of it, reported to me saying years ago that a psychic one day came through there and said, the reason the pink dollhouse is moving is because it's on the wrong side of the bedroom of a child that used to have residence in this house. Child was William Forsythe's son, believed to have drowned in the tunnel below in the secret compartment in the basement down below. This is really kind of cool, isn't it? Well, anyways, this little pink dollhouse would move from one side of the room to the other, and it had a little Ouija board on a little coffee table in the little pink dollhouse. Years later, we were filming here for Niagara's Most Haunted, and we tried to recreate a really cool scene brought a fog machine and all, and guess what? We never even turned it on. This thing went on a half hour later when we were in the house, fogged the whole basement out. Fog was billowing onto the parkway, over to the Niagara River. Scariest moment we've ever had, because that they're going to call the fire truck, because they thought we were burning down this historical landmark. Cool stuff, eh? Anyways, we will see you at our next location. Well, hello there again, folks. Made it to our next location, the corner of Niagara Parkway and College Road. Now, you see where I'm standing is on a bridge. What's significant about this bridge is that when we were shooting season 1 of Niagara's Most Haunted, there was a really cool story that came. Urban legend or not, that says there's a ghost, get this, ghost of a vampire woman that is below the bridge. You can find her at night, late at night. And here's how the story goes. That during the War of 1812, there was a lot of bloody battle down here. In fact, we're going to be going down the road to another place. So a lot of soldiers killed, a lot of people killed. Story goes that a woman died of tuberculosis. She also lost her baby. Tuberculosis was a consumptive disease that ate away at the respiratory system, the lungs, and caused internal bleeding. People would bleed out of their mouths. So, oftentimes after they had buried individuals from TB, blood would still be coming. It would be dried in the corner of their mouths because they had built them, buried them in shallow graves in the New England area, and that's where the whole vampire legend started in the United States of America. So rumor has it here that the woman wasn't really a vampire, rather a ghost of a woman that died of consumption in the 1800s, and she still comes looking for her baby every night. Hey there, folks. Hello, and welcome to our next location, leg of the journey. July 5th, 1814. One of the bloodiest battles was fought in Chippewa. War of 1812, that is. But of course, we're a couple years ahead. The war finally ended right around this point here. A lot of bloodshed in this area of the Niagara region, especially this area in Chippewa. There's a lot of commemorative markers on this field where many British and American soldiers died during that bloody war. A very cool place because you get a lot of paranormal investigators and researchers that dare to spend the night out here with their investigative equipment, and many claim that they pick up not only orbs, but they pick up disembodied voices, they see spirits, apparitions. You be the judge. Since we've been here, all I'm seeing are lots of mosquitoes and lots of bugs. And that is one of the things that I advise, which each of these journeys is, make sure you bring bug spray because all these locations are outside, especially if you're coming at nighttime. See you at our next location. Okay, folks, we are at our halfway point from Fort Erie, now on our way to Niagara-on-the-Lake. But what better place to stop than just doing this vanity selfie film, standing in front of one of the greatest wonders in the world, my hometown, Niagara Falls. A lot of people can't get here this year, but definitely you can look at it, you can experience this, and when it is safe to travel, definitely come here. We miss you, we love you in Niagara, and we want to see you again. If you've never been here before, definitely come. We definitely want to see you. And by the way, the food's great, ghosts are really cool too. Okay, folks, we've made it to our next destination, which is the Niagara Armory Museum. It's off the beaten path, sort of. Parallel to Niagara Parkway is Victoria Avenue. Less than 2 kilometers away, but it was one of our landmark places that we filmed at because it is haunted. And what's really cool, we also did a ghost walk through it for one Halloween. There's also escape rooms down below, a World War I escape room and a World War II escape room. But as the curators and those that have been here for a fair bit of time, they say there's been, how should I put it, I was going to say people here longer, but no, we'll make that spirits. Check it out. And off we go to our next location. Well, hello there, folks. Made it to our next destination, not too far from the Armory, standing on Queen Street. That is what used to be the main street in Niagara Falls, Canada, back in the day, that is. There's still some really cool shops down here. Of course, City Hall, where our great Mayor Jim Diodati resides. And of course, there's a really cool ghost tour that they run through here. So you can either drive through here yourself and try to figure out which places or what sites are haunted, or definitely check out the ghost tour that they run on Queen Street. See you at our next location.
When I was a kid working at the Niagara Parks Commission in high school, I remember one night, it was Friday the 13th, and it was a full moon. And this moon was a big moon. It was just hanging over the falls. And I thought, wow, what a neat night to go see the Screaming Tunnels. And I put out a message on the walkie-talkies, asked anybody interested, and I didn't hear anything. All I heard was crickets, because everyone was a little bit, already we were a little bit feeling jumpy. And so I put the message out to one of the guys in particular, who I thought he probably couldn't turn down the challenge. And he said, all right, let's go. So a bunch of us went down the Screaming Tunnels. And you know, the talk was when you got to the train tracks, a ghost train would come, and you're supposed to open the car doors and lift your legs. And so we were just at the tracks talking about it. We turned around to do just that, and this train felt like it came out of nowhere. And all of a sudden, ding, 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 it was going by the car, and our hearts skipped a beat. And that set the pace for once we drove down to the area of the Screaming Tunnels, and we got down to the dead end and the dark area, and boy, was it ever dark. And this little bit of water trickling through and pure blackness on the other end. And you know, to be honest with you, I don't know if it was a combination of full moon, Friday the 13th, and the Screaming Tunnels, but the way all three converged, we were too nervous to actually go in that tunnel. We didn't have a flashlight, and none of us wanted to actually take a chance, so we kind of stepped a couple feet in and we left.
Well, hey there, folks. We are at our next location, Queenston Heights. Of course, we are in Queenston, Ontario. This was yet another battlefield during the War of 1812. This is where Sir Isaac Brock was actually killed. Lots of people come here to check out the beautiful scenery. The monument behind me, there's a really cool Indigenous memorial at this location. And of course, people claim that there are apparitions and ghosts that roam this site. Definitely come check it out. Off to the next location. I am standing at our next location, which is perhaps one of the coolest locations we've ever filmed at. This is Willowbank, a very cool school for restoration that looks at stuff from the 1800s into the early 1900s. John Hamilton built this house. He had many, many kids. Unfortunately, he died before the house was ever finished. Furthermore, after he died, his wife was never really able to finish the house, went into debt, and there's stories about things that kind of went downhill after that. Several people have reported seeing the face of John Hamilton in that window up over there. There's an old piano in there, and some people say they see him standing by the piano. Definitely worth checking out. If you look at this place, it's like a really cool plantation you would see, say, in Louisiana or somewhere down south. But here's a better story. See this place here where I'm standing? We shot a music video. I shot a music video for the Canadian iconic band The Spoons, the first and last time, which has won or been selected in 70 film festivals around the world. So right where I'm standing, imagine I'm one of the Spoons going back and forth. That's where Sandy Horn, the great bassist for the Spoons, did her magical walk. So on to our next location, which is directly across the street, called the Laura Secord Old School, which is a part of Willowbank School of Restoration. Okay folks, this is the second part of Willowbank, which is the former Laura Secord Elementary School. We had a really cool experience filming here, and we actually had some celebrity guests which joined us. The famous Rita Carey, that is the sister of actor Jim Carrey. Rita is an actress, performer, and a radio show / TV show host, along with her partner in crime for television and radio, Peter Dichter. They came here and they witnessed a ghost box session where we communicated supposedly with ghosts. I don't know how effective or how accurate ghost box are. I am on the fence with them, but having said that, supposedly we got a hold of Laura Secord herself, but she didn't bring any chocolate. Definitely come check this place out. Well, we're going to go to our next location, down the lower Niagara River Parkway, back on the parkway that is, to another house. Okay, we're at our next location, up the road from Willowbank, almost to Niagara-on-the-Lake, not quite there yet. This is the Mcfarland House, which has a really cool story to it. You see, John Mcfarland built this beautiful house, and then only to have the Americans take it from him. And eventually, he would die. Rumor or story has it that his ghost still haunts this house, and you can find him in the study there by, I believe it's chess, as in the game, sitting there or standing by a fireplace. What is it with John's haunting houses? But on another note, scariest part of this whole thing was not for us really when we were filming here, but rather we had filmed the night before at Birdie Hall, the place we just came from, way up in Fort Erie, and told you the story. We fogged the place out, which was, I don't know, maybe a ghost made the fog machine go to work. But when we were coming here, we were warned in advance, or I should say, the Upper Parks Commission warned the Lower Parks Commission that the Niagara Haunted crew was coming, and that they were worried that we were going to have another fog machine party and trash the place. Anyways, that's this place, really cool place. Come check it out. Off to the next location. We are now further down, almost right in Niagara-on-the-Lake. I'm standing in front of Fort George. Hey, need I say more? War of 1812, fort attacked by the Americans, a lot of bloodshed, ghost tours that are actually offered at night in the summertime leading up to Halloween by the Friends of Fort George. Hey, enough said. We're only standing out in front, but I definitely recommend taking one of these ghost tours, or if not that, check out The really cool stuff around here in the day, take a tour of the fort, but also check out all the fireflies that are flying around right now, illuminating this area. See you at our next location. I am standing along the Parkway, the Niagara River Parkway, and I thought we would share this story after Fort George, because you see it actually happens between Mcfarland House and Fort George. It's an urban legend or an old tale that started sometime around the 60s as far as we could tell, 70s, where a mysterious hitchhiker, an elderly woman, shows up on the side of the road somewhere between 12 midnight and 3 in the morning. Okay? A driver pulled over for her, picked her up, and she got in, basically pointing up the road to a house she wanted to be dropped off at. She gets in the vehicle, the driver makes conversation with her, but the lady does not respond. Finally, she starts pointing ahead for the driver to stop. When the driver stops up, right in front where kind of the lady was pointing to, she just disintegrates, dematerializes in front of the driver's eyes. Gonzo. Driver gets out, looks around and goes, holy cow, what the heck's going on? Supposedly, the driver, in this one instant, shared the story with other folks in the Niagara-on-the-Lake area, and much to their surprise, they had similar experience. Go figure. Is it for real, or is it just one of those really cool urban legends? You check it out next time you're driving along the lower Niagara Parkway between Mcfarland House and Fort George. Okay, so we are at our next location, Fort Mississauga, which is right, probably the furthest part in Niagara-on-the-Lake. Ironically, the fort itself is a naval base, which was used War of 1812, and they were still using it, Canadians were, the militia that was, to train into the 70s, 1970s that is. But what's really cool about this fort is it's situated in the back of a golf course. So literally, they built a golf course around a fort. Unfortunately, at this point, the fort is closed because they're renovating it. Also, I really don't feel like walking down there to the gates, which look really, really cool, and getting eaten alive by vampire mosquitoes, okay? Okay, regular mosquitoes. But here's a fun fact. People over the years have reported seeing limbless apparitions walking across the golf course. That is, golfers have reported that. So imagine that. You're out there, you're putting for the dough, and all of a sudden you see a soldier, apparition, come walking by you with no legs, no arms, and just kind of floating by. You're going, well, what the hell is that? Boom, and you miss your shot. Hey, just saying. Anyways, we're going to throw in a couple more fun little locations for you to see next. See you in a bit. We are almost at the end of our journey, this really cool ghost tour, and I am standing in front of the old courthouse in Niagara-on-the-Lake. This is, to me, the piece de resistance, as in the first year of Haunted Niagara, we shot in here, Rich and I, and we had a great time. At the time, Audette was running the theater here and told us some really cool ghost stories or experiences that not only patrons had there, but also actors and actresses at the time when they were preparing to go on stage. Really cool place. Just the architecture and the history alone makes it worth coming and checking it out. See you at our final location. Well, there you have it, folks. Finished. Finito. Done. The end. Well, when it comes to ghosts, probably is no end point. Having said that, we've come from Fort Erie, Ontario, all the way down to Niagara-on-the-Lake, Ontario, and I'm standing at perhaps what is considered the most haunted pub in not only the Niagara region, Ontario, but all of Canada. The famous Angel Inn, that still is home to the ghost of Captain Swayze. Captain Swayze, War of 1812 soldier, not Patrick Swayze, and also his black cat. Story has it, rumor has it, that when the Americans took over the town of Niagara-on-the-Lake and burned it to the crisp, Swayze was hiding in a barrel down below, downstairs, and he was bludgeoned to death in the barrel. Even though the Americans didn't know he was in there, they wanted to add insult to injury by destroying everything to do with this building. Fast forward now, people still report seeing the ghost of Captain Swayze in the women's bathroom down below. Hey, filmed here several times. I can't say that I've had any scary encounters. Oh yeah, hang on, just one. The new owner, when we were filming here, had this really unique idea. He's very much into English Premier League soccer, so he had these little nets, and they got little soccer balls hanging on them, and they go in the men's urinal. And the goal is to try to hit the ball while you're peeing. There you have it. Pretty scary. No, not that. The scary part is he says he can't keep them. People keep stealing them. Go figure. Anyways, thank you for joining me on this little journey. I hope you have a safe one yourself. Be safe, be careful, and remember, these are all outdoor places other than places like this, that when they're open for business again, definitely check them out. They need you, they need your business, and they just need people around again, and probably you need to get out and have fun again. See ya, and maybe I'll run into you in the region, or maybe not. So folks, let me ask you, do you like free stuff? Hey, you've come to the right place. Check out my website right here. There you will find free downloads for your personal enjoyment, and you can share them with family, friends, whomever you like, especially if you like more stuff to do with the haunted historical stuff around the region. There's also other free books for you to download and share, and if you like some really cool stories, over the years I've learned some really cool historical stories from folks like yourself, professionals in the field, historians, paranormal, as they would call them, investigators, experts, and of course some folks from different TV series and films that are really into this, folks like The Walking Dead, Vampire Diaries, and other ones across the board. Please definitely enjoy. And oh yeah, be sure to check out my new TV series, Historical Niagara, which airs on local television but is available on our YouTube channel right here.